Good morning. General President, SLAAS, Professor Janita Liyanage, also the Vice Chairperson of University Grants Commission, Chairman, Inventors Commission of Sri Lanka, Professor Rangika Halwathuru, keynote speaker today from University of Peradeniya, Professor Ekanayaka, fellow academics, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me thank organizers, Professor Janita especially, inviting me for this wonderful event. I thought just saying hello to everybody, I must capitalize the thing given to me for this audience to show you the macro way how as a country we can improve the knowledge economy. Because everybody talk about knowledge economy, but we don't know what are the real sectors who can contribute to this knowledge economy. If you don't really follow the knowledge economy, this is an index where everybody consider this index in order to spot your place, country, maybe your sector, before taking any decision at the international level. So we all know many years ago, GDP was the only index that everybody used. But in 70s, with GDP, everybody came to know that the poor segment of countries won't represent by the GDP. You can have a high GDP, you can have a high per capita, but same time, there may be a lot of poorest of poor not reflected by those two indexes. That is why PQLI was introduced by Great Britain with few economists. Later on, many indexes have came into the scenario, but today this index is the most powerful index to represent everybody. So this is the index which is known as knowledge indexes. The knowledge economy index is a very vast index where thousands of very small indexes come together to give a value to this knowledge index. So you can clearly see there are two parts. The most important part is this knowledge index. So here, three small indexes are there. I was delighted to see Professor Rangika here today. So SLAAS invited him because his organization represents inventions, innovations. Not only that, even venture creations. So what SLAAS have done, combining these different segments in order to have a better knowledge economy. I will give you a few examples, then you will understand. Actually, the policymakers need to understand this. What is knowledge economy? People may think that this is just only education. This is not only education. And even in education, there are so many aspects coming under this. So even though our literacy ratio is more than 90%, our computer literacy is nearly 40%. So people mind only the computer literacy today because that is the literacy that business needs. So This is just a graphical mode of knowledge economy. You can see a bunch of countries at the beginning, where Sri Lanka also in. China is there, India is there. And if you take the gap between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, you can see a lesser gap than that between Sri Lanka and Malaysia. The gap is not that high. But you can see again another bunch, all developed countries. So Norway number one. So we can categorize all countries with the knowledge index like this. So before foreign investors come and invest, they check what is the index value. That shows the knowledge, the computability, whether you use emails, maybe you have 1,000 email accounts. If you are not prompt, it's a negative for the nation. Negative for the nation. You may have WhatsApp groups, but if you don't reply, negative for the nation. Nobody knows, nobody concerns. If you don't like, you have to, get out from that group. Otherwise, you have to, keep on replying. Right? So this is the world that, we are living. This is all calculated under knowledge economy index. So look at this, individuals using internet. Just see where we are. Sri Lanka, again that bunch cornered. Again, we have a lot of universities, non-state sector is there, a lot of technical colleges are there. Most of the teachers are graduates in our country, but you can see, according to results, we are not there. So without improving this, you cannot reach to that great bunch of knowledge economies. You cannot go there. So this pandemic, in a way, good, because here we have maybe 20, but we are addressing for thousands. All universities now working online. Electricity of a university, how much you believe? Millions. Per annum, billions. Right. Everybody, use air conditions. But countries like Japan, they say, even in the winter, up to this date, please don't use the heater. We don't care. We think it's all free because it's from the government. But that is not the way, the attitude. These all things, everything, attitude, even calculated here in the index. If you don't come online correctly, parallel, from all indexes, you have to stay with that bunch. But that bunch is improving. I will show you information. So look at this. School enrollment, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. Gross Education Index 2018. I don't want to take much time. You can see the higher education. So I heard that more than 700 MBBS students are waiting to sit for the aptitude test of Medical Council of Sri Lanka. But doctors are waiting. So many vacancies. Not politics I'm talking. I'm talking really the knowledge. I will come to research. I will show you data, Scopus information very soon, within 5 minutes, how we have stagnant as a country, all universities already stagnant. In order to jump from this end to another place, we need a total different mechanism. This mechanism have done the maximum and we are at the peak at the moment. So this is enrollment, secondary and higher education, Sri Lanka and selected countries. So Korea Republic, you can see higher education where we blame people. Soon after A levels, they are taking 3 wheels. But we, as a country, we have to see why they go like that. Because they don't have opportunities. All the universities, all the non-state sector universities are located in suburbs. So government has given a solution, setting up 10 district universities, 10 city universities, where myself and Professor Janita are working to establish 10 within another 2 years' time. This is gross enrollment. I don't want to take much time. Tertiary education, gross enrollment rate, selected countries. You see where we are. Not a good picture. Not a good picture. At NASA, we have 264 Sri Lankan scientists working. But if you take the majority here in Sri Lanka, the productivity is not like that. It's very low. In this index, there is another sub-index. They calculate how many academics you have and what is the ratio of Scopus publications. You can have, now we are this time increasing 500 academics, probably maybe 450, maybe first degree holders. To reach to Scopus level, it will take at least 5 to 10 years for them. How can we reach this? These are the challenges actually as a country we have. Another index, I see the internet users. Are we using this 51% of the world coming in Asia? This is actually the market today. These are internet users again, world statistics, expenditure on education, simple things, but this is all coming under this education part. Education, look at this. This is the next index, Global Innovation Index. So we are there. We are better than Bangladesh. But look at United States, Singapore, even Nepal, close to us, even Bangladesh, very close to us. We have to understand what are the mechanisms that they are used for this higher rate of growth. This is all available. This is patents. That is why I said I was delighted to see SLAS with Inventors Commission. And Professor Angika told me how they have developed this IEEE links. I also have data. I will show you, Professor Angika, what Moratuwa is doing. I have clearly studied what Moratuwa is doing when I was at Sri Jayawardhanapura. You may not believe the information what I have. I will show you. These are the information. I don't want to take much time. The regional analysis, GDP growth. I don't know whether you all can see. this is, you can, if you come to UGC website, the comparison for 10 years, you can see Colombo number 1. Peradeniya was number 1 for 2 years. And with the latest information, Colombo has reached number 1. But 7 years ago, Colombo was at 2,146 university. But today, 1,766. But you can understand, we are stagnant. We are stagnant. If you take Peradeniya, same. You take first 5, same. We are really stagnant. You cannot move Webometrics. How can we reach more than 500? How can we reach? We have to really change the total system. We are planning actually. We are planning how to change the system. We are proposing to have faculties for research in all national universities. We are planning to have board of research, but not according to the names of faculties. These are science, engineering, medicine and technology. And universities like that. And we are proposing to have groups of researchers according to the research interest. And easily 15% of your total capital bill, every university can use for research. That is simply, if you take big universities, simply 150 million per annum. 150 million per annum. And SLAS can help, Inventors Commission can help, and Research Council of the country can help, NSF can help, and everybody have to get together. All conferences, maybe this is the way actually we have to have, right? Some conferences you establish, you have in 5-star hotels, spending millions of millions, but none of the abstracts you can't publish in Scopus in such conferences. What is the output? Zero, negative. It's only a business backdrop, only few logos and paper articles, keynote speeches, that's all. So I have analyzed this to the bottom. This is all our non-state. I cannot tell you names because there is no regulator. There is no clear regulator. We have proposed to the government to give this non-state sector to University Grants Commission to give them proper guidance for development. Right? They have to come here as companies. Do you think Melbourne will come here as a company? Do you think that London School of Economics will come here as a company? London School Company Limited? No. Why they have to come here like that? They have to come through BOI. The present Higher Education Act won't help support anybody to come as a university. We are changing actually all segments. My final 3 slides I will show you. This all information provided for me by Professor Jayavira, Professor in Chemistry at Jayawardhanapura, my very good friend. Look at this. I requested him, give me this data. So spending many hours, days with his team, Sri Jayawardhanapura, Colombo, Kelaniya, Moratuwa, Peradeniya, Jaffna, Ruhuna. First 6, 7 universities are here. All stagnant. All stagnant. You can see these are the Scopus papers by universities. If you take Sri Jayawardhanapura, in Scopus index, Some people even don't really spell the name of the university. So we have to write to Scopus and tell them, hey, this is also ours. Please upload this to Jayawardhanapura. Yes. Some people say Japura, some people say USJ, some people say another word. It's like that, right? So we don't actually care about this large index. So Moratuwa, I really studied Moratuwa. Why Moratuwa is having their rate of growth of Scopus papers more than 60% per annum. I will show you in next slide the data. I was wondering how they achieved. Then I came to know they are coupled with IEEE. They don't have just simple conferences inside. If they organize a conference, they send at least 100 papers to IEEE. They select 80% papers from their authors and 20% from others. That is good. That is good. So they give the assurance to everybody, this is the way actually we have to have conferences. So this particular conference also a similar conference. So they have the benefit. Not that SLAS is spending millions without output, because here you have a huge output. You can see this is the rate of growth. 68.5% annual growth from 2015 to 2020. Moratuwa was at number 7, reached to number 3. So we have to study how they have reached. But for this whole country index, there is no competition. We have to compete with others. Good that we have a competition domestically as well. But you have to go and see what is happening, what Moratuwa is doing, what Jayawardhanapura is doing. Right? So like that, as a country, we have to see. This is the order. This is the order. Scopus or whatever, we don't want to spend millions of money to these databases. But that until we come to a certain level, this is the path. This ensures the quality of your papers. So maybe you have thousands of papers. So we are changing actually the professor evaluation as well. Right? You can become a professor without having a Scopus single abstract. So there we have fixed amount, 12 marks, somehow you have to get. So look at this. Each and every university have their pet area for research. But they don't know. I don't know whether they have studied this. Right? So UGC, actually, we study. I really study this. What is happening? What is happening? Right? Right. So you can see whether your medical is doing well, whether your management is doing well. Right? Otherwise, no point. What are the areas that you have potential? So, and this is how many circulars that we have issued by UGC. This is something else. We have issued 1,980 circulars so far. Huge number. But I have searched how many circulars that we have issued in the field of research. I have found only 2. Only 2. One circular was circulated 10 years ago. That is for the research elements. Professor Rohan, myself, Nirmal, we wrote the circular. And then the chairman at that time circulated that. So FUTA must get the credit. And the final circular was issued 2 years ago. That was developed by Professor Niranjan of Peradeniya. that performance-based H index circular, and just typing a small covering letter, we have circulated that to academia. So you don't believe there is no mechanism for the development. All organizations isolated, researchers isolated. Whether you do a better research or not doesn't matter. That is for your satisfaction. Maybe you are doing research, but others also survive without any difficulty. Salaries are same, promotions are easy, but the country, because of this index pattern, we are stagnant. So this is the time to change, and authorities need to bring new models. So we are in heavy discussions, talking to each other. This is a good move, at least having these interconnected bodies and also having databases like IEEE, Scopus. This is the best way to have big number of papers. So looking forward for a better future for the nation. Thank you so much.